Hi everyone, my name's Ryan H. Lewis, and today we are going to be talking about the newest version of the Node JavaScript platform, and that is version 15. It just came out this week in the middle of October 2020, and you may be a little surprised because a version actually came out earlier this year in April of 2020. That was version 14. Version 15 is going to be a little interesting because it's not actually an LTS version. That means it reaches end of life in June of 2021. So don't go deploying any of your production apps on there. That's not really what it's for. It's really more about installing and understanding these experimental features, these things that are going to be in version 16. Now, this is a major version, so there are many breaking changes, but in this video, I'm going to go through the newest features in version 15, and it'll probably give you some reasons to pull it down, install it, check it out, and try a few of the things. So the first cool feature of Node version 15 is NPM version 7. That's right, this is a new version of the NPM CLI utility. It's version 7. It is packaged with Node version 15. You can install it separately if you want to, but NPM version 7 actually brings some really cool features, such as a new package lock JSON format, compatibility with yarn lock files. I know, I never thought I'd see the day. And one of the most cool features that I've seen is NPM workspaces. Now, there's a ton to get into with NPM version 7, so I'm not gonna cover it in this video. I'm gonna make a new video for that. But just know that one of the nice things about Node version 15 is it comes with NPM 7. The next big feature of Node version 15 is that promises that don't handle rejections are going to throw now instead of warn. So this may be a little esoteric, but if you've been doing anything with promises or async await in your Node applications, you may have noticed that occasionally you'll see unhandled rejection errors. And basically this happens when you have a promise or an async function, which are kind of the, under the covers are the same thing. But if you have either one of those and you either don't have a catch on the promise, like a promise.then.catch, or with an async if it's not wrapped in a try block. If you have either one of these scenarios where you don't have those things, then in Node version 15, your program will fail. It will stop running. And this is a big change. Like obviously, I've have a bunch of Node programs that probably are not catching everything as they should with my promises. And when that happens, my application, if it's in production, is going to die, which is going to be a really bad thing. So Node version 15 gives you a chance to fix your applications before this becomes canon in Node version 16. That's coming in April of next year. So it gives you some time to kind of tighten up your applications and make everything work better. The next feature in Node version 15 is sort of weird. It's called quick support, and it's actually an experimental feature. You have to use a flag to enable it in Node version 15, but essentially it is a new type of network connection. So we all know HTTP and HTTPS, those work on top of TCP. So whenever your Node server is connecting to a browser or whatever it's connecting to, it's using a TCP connection under the hood. Quick is a new kind of protocol, and it actually runs on top of UDP. It does a lot of the things that TCP and HTTPS do together, but it does them kind of natively. So it's supposed to be able to reduce a lot of the latency involved when making network connections. Now, it's experimental, and in order to actually use it widely on the internet, there needs to be a lot more support in browsers, and there needs to be a lot more support for internet utilities and middleman things. So don't expect to use it anytime soon, but it's really cool that you can go ahead and get your hands on it and play around with it in Node version 15. There are a couple new language features which are really interesting. These language features come to Node 15 because of the V8 JavaScript engine that is shipped in the Google Chrome browser. As you probably know, the V8 JavaScript engine is used in the Node platform to do the JavaScript interpreting. So any new feature in V8 that's in Chrome, you will get in Node. And so in Node 15, there's a new version of the V8 JavaScript engine. And one of the first new language features that you can get your hands on is promise.any. The way that promise.any works is you pass in an array of promises, and then you add a .then to the end of your any function call, and it will be called with the first promise that resolves in that array of promises, only one time. It's a feature that was in Bluebird for a long time, but it's a brand new native promise feature now in Node version 15, and you'll probably be able to use it in most of your Chrome browsers as well. Another interesting language feature is string.replaceAll. So you probably know about string replace. It lets you replace words or letters or really anything in a string. Replace all just replaces all instances of that pattern. You can pass in a string, you can pass in a regex, either one. Previously, if you wanted to replace all instances of something in a string, you could use replace with a regex and the /ig. Now you can just use replace all and it does all those things for you, which is pretty cool. And the last new language feature is a little weird. It is logical assignment operators. So this is something that I didn't even think about, but now I'm thinking of all the ways I could use it. So they're assignment operators and they look like ampersand equals, pipe equals, or question mark equals. And what they do is they do an evaluation step before they assign to a variable. So let me give you an example. Let's say you have x ampersand equals 10. Previously, the previous value of that x is evaluated for truthiness in the case of the ampersand equals. And man, we're gonna have to find another way to say that because that is just way too long. How about and equals? So with and equals, if the previous value of x is truthy, then it will be assigned to. So if we've got x equals 10, and then x and equals 20, x would then equal 20 on the next line. If x was 0, which is a falsy value, and then the next line had x and equals 10, then x would equal 10 in that situation. The next logical assignment operator is pipe equals. Maybe we'll call this or equals. How about that? And the or equals works with the kind of the opposite of the and equals, and maybe that should be and equals. So or equals will be assigned to if it is falsy. And then the final one is question mark equals, which maybe we can call question equals, and that'll be assigned to if the value of the variable is nullish. And nullish is a new term. Nullish basically means it's either null or undefined. So nully doesn't really sound very good. So nullish it is. So with question mark equals, it'll be assigned to if the variable is nullish. So those are some really cool new features. I can see that those language features will be quite useful in making more succinct code that is easier to read. And those are all the major new features in Node version 15. Now, if you're using a Node version manager such as NVM, that's the one that I use, then you can install that today using NVM install 15. If you're not using a Node version manager, then what are you doing? Using a version manager for your Node installs is the easiest way to get the newest versions of Node and switch in between them when you need to. So pick up NVM, for instance. I believe N is another one, and those will help you try out this new version 15, but also not have to actually use it in your everyday. And that's it for this video. Thanks so much for sticking around. If you like this video, consider liking it or subscribing it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.